today. So I'm grateful to be here. Terry's asked me to give a brief little introduction. My name is Caroline. I'm Communication Director for Hippocrates Health Institute, and I've been watching Terry grow over the last couple of years in a really profound way. Of course, when I first met him, he was pretty profound himself and incredible and had a true gift. That's when he opened up the New Wash. And at Hippocrates, we're big believers in what Terry's offering today. So part of our program at Hippocrates is to take it home, and we do that through microgreens and wheatgrass and sprouts. So I came today, I know how to grow wheatgrass and I know how to grow sprouts, but I know that what Terry will offer will take me up personally to the next level as it relates to more knowledge. The knowledge that he has is second to none from all of the people that I get to meet on a regular basis. I've always been really thrilled with Terry's knowledge and ability. And I first met Terry when he opened a New Age Cafe, and that was, we had Dr. Brian Clement, who's the director of Hippocrates, opening the cafe, and ever since then, which has now been several years, I've been very intrigued with what Terry's been up to. So I'm looking at his new card here, and we've got the Vitalitions Society, Advanced Knowledge for Awakened Spirits, and he's now Saint Terry. So I think that this is a pretty exciting time to be co-creating, so to speak, with the Vitalitions Society. And I'm here today because I wanted to learn more about microgreens. So I know Terry's going to take us up to the next level in a lot of different ways. So it's a great pleasure to introduce Terry.
Well, thank you very much all, and thank you for coming here today. It's a beautiful day on Sunday, but you decided to come and get inspired and get some knowledge. Because I believe today everybody is lacking a little bit of knowledge, and that's what makes us hard, because there's so much information out there, so many things we can choose and pick, but which one is the best, which one is the good, which one is the bad, and which one is better for us, because we are all different. So the knowledge gives you the information necessary to understand how things work for you, how your body works, and therefore to make better choices for yourself, but also for the people that depend on you. So today I'm going to introduce you, the lecture is about how to grow your own wheatgrass, sunflower greens, and sprouted beans. So it's very simple, I'm going to make it very easy. I'm going to go straight to the subject. Those are wheatgrass. You can buy the wheatgrass seeds online or at Whole Foods. They're called hard wheat berries. And what you do is you soak them overnight for 8 hours. So before you go to sleep, you just soak them, fill up with water, and the next morning you take the water out. And for 2 or 3 days, depending on the temperature, so I would say when it's cold, it will be 3 days. When it's warm, it actually accelerates the process of germinating. You will just do 2 days. So what you do is you put some water in it and rinse it out. Because now those seeds, which were hard before, you could actually store them at Whole Foods for years, or in your kitchen cabinet for years, because when the seeds or the beans are in a dry state, they're actually dormant. So they are semi-alive. But when you soak them in over water, you actually activate the enzymes and the life force energy within them. So you actually unlock the potential and they start to become alive. Now they depend on you, father and mother, to stay alive. So let's call them the babies. And every babies, they drink, and I would say they poop. Excuse my language, but it's very easy, very simple.
Sorry, you do that, is that the same with all beans? I don't know.
Yes. Everything that becomes alive, sunflower greens, the wheatgrass berries, or the sprouted beans, which I have some here, those are mungs, adzuki, and lentils. So I'll show you that, very simple. But it's the same process for everything. I would say those are very easy to germinate. Adzuki, mung, and lentils. They actually germinate about the same time, so you can actually mix them together. And what's happening is, I'll show you. See, I did that yesterday morning, so it's like almost over a day. And you can see the months. Yeah, you see the little tail coming out?
Oh yeah. That's just it one
It's
day.
soaking for 8 hours?
Yeah, soak for 8 hours. I just show on the video here. So they actually become alive. So now they're babies. So here's the process. Overnight, before you go to sleep, you fill up let's say you put that amount of beans and you fill up all the way of water, because what's happening is they triple in size. So you can't put the same amount of water, because then they'll lack water. So it's better too much water than not enough. So the next day in the morning, you take the water out. And 3 times a day, so you already did in the morning, but at night, when you come back from work, so for people who go to work, before you go to work, when you come back from work, and before you go to sleep, what you'll do is put some water in it, shake it well, even with the hand if you want, to make sure they're all nice and clean, because the babies poop. And they won't survive in the poop, so that's why we have to change the diapers. You see?
So you do that 3 times and you spill them out, so it's gonna be more and more.
Yes, exactly.
So you get 3 times a day, so you
Yeah.
get bigger and bigger.
They are growing. So they will stop eventually to the size perfect for them to start to become something else, which will be a plant that will create seeds, that will germinate seeds to create more, etc. It goes on. That's how life goes. But as far as the beans, for us to eat, when they are germinating that state, when the tails comes out like this, and they're nice and a little crunchy, but soft, easy to digest, that's the best time for us to eat them. Now, what you have here is a power source of nutrients that is necessary for us to function. Because it's not about the food that we eat, it's about the energy in the food that we can assimilate. Now, I'm referring to Dr. Kai Rims, who was a student from Albert Einstein. The guy has 7 PhD. He developed a theory called the bioionization ionization. Because our body, what it is, it's a superb machine that is designed to convert things from one thing to another. And that's how things work. So when people say you have to eat proteins to make proteins, it doesn't really work this way. What we need is amino acids, which is a chain of proteins that the body will convert to make proteins. You see, it's like thinking that the milk needs to drink milk to make milk. Do you understand what I'm saying? The milk doesn't drink milk to make milk, it drinks water, and then it converts the grass and all the proteins from chlorophyll. That's what they eat, it's just grass. And you see how powerful a cow is. Exactly. So that's what we're looking for, is the energy in the food that the body can assimilate and convert into a vital life force. You see? So this is filled with amino acids, minerals, hopefully. It's good to have actually some minerals to it, and I'm going to show you how you can do that. And you know, all the nutrients that you find, phosphate, the calcium, the magnesium, everything that the beans contain is filled with those energies. So the same thing with the wheatgrass seeds. Those are hard winter red berries that I bought at Whole Foods. So what you do is you take a bag at Whole Foods. I mean, it's better to buy the organic online than Whole Foods, but when you know, you do that for the first time, you know, in practice, it's better to do it this way. So they have bags out there, those green bags, and they have a scale. So what you do is you put about 1 pound in the bag, and then you put in the scale. Because this 1 pound that you're going to germinate is the exact amount of what is needed to grow 1 tray, 17 by 17. Now those trays come from Hippocrates Health Institute. They're like $3 a piece. So I highly recommend you guys to go over there for lunch, because they open for lunch for the public. It's $20, you get all you can eat buffet over there, it's delicious. And at the same time, go to the store and buy those trays, you know. And they have great seeds as well. So that would be the perfect amount. So they are actually germinating. You can see the tail a little bit coming out. So I already rinsed them, but tonight I'll rinse them again, and I'll do that another day. And then what I'll do is I'm going to put some soil in it on this tray. And actually I can do that now, and I'll show you how it works. So I suggest we go outside, so we don't have to make a, oh, you got it here? Wait. Yeah, good idea. Wonderful. So here it is. This is a garden compost. You can add soil or whatever you want to it. The best way would be to compost your own soil, of course. You know how to do that. You take a garbage container, you drill some holes on the side or on the bottom, and you just add all the
Fruits,
leftovers.
pumpkins,
Yeah,
grass,
everything.
Snails,
Exactly.
dog fur,
Yeah, you add.
banana.
Exactly. You add the soil and you mix it. You put some water in it, and the heat of the sun is actually will accelerate that. So it's great, and you will see the worms in it, and the worms actually convert the bad stuff to the good stuff for us. For the soil.
That's
Worms.
alchemy in itself.
Does it have an odor, like smell?
No, if you mix it up, you don't even notice it.
Yeah, it's all
I
natural.
notice if like it's wet, you take it out, like sometimes it gets wet and it's laid out, dried out, then it stinks, but when you put it, while you're doing it, you don't notice it. It's
Can't
covered.
you just dig a hole in the ground and compost, make your own compost?
Yeah, you can do that. There's many ways to do that. I highly recommend the teachings of John Collard on YouTube. It's youtube.com/okraw orokraw.com or growyourOwnFood.com. He teaches everything about how to grow your own food, many different ways.
Who's
How to
going to be in Susan's house next week?
Wonderful. Thank you for saying that.
You coming?
Absolutely. If I'm not doing
What is that
anything,
about? What's that?
Susan in West Palm Beach, Susan Lerner. Just go to meetups and put raw food and you'll see.
Raw food?
Yeah, raw food like reward. Yeah.
Okay. All right, so I put a good amount. I would say like maybe half the size of the tray. And this is magic. I'm gonna add something to it. It's magnetic sand.
Magnetic sand?
Yeah, you probably never heard of this, right?
No.
This is magnetic sand from the beach of Croatia, or many other countries in the world. You'll find some beaches that have this sand that has the potentiality of being magnetic. So I'm going to show you. This is a ceramic magnet. Can you see?
Oh, wow.
The sand is magnetic.
It has metal in them, right?
Exactly. So not just metal, but magnetic metal. It's magnets, basically.
Magnetic sand?
Yes.
That comes from where?
From a beach in Croatia, but that online on eBay. It can come from different other sources. Just look for magnetic sand, and you just add it. This other things you can use too is rock dust.
What?
Rock
Rock dust?
dust. You know where manufacturers of marble or rock, they cut. You can go there and get a lot of dust that you can get for free. You just have to go get it. It's just leftovers. And you add this to your garden, it creates a magnetic field within the soil that the plants will love. Because again, it's all about energy. You know, the yin and the yang, positive, negative, hot, cold, up and down. I'm talking about energies that the plants are recognizing, which is the north and the south, or the plus and the negative. So
Is that expensive, the magnetic sand?
I'm sorry?
Magnetic sand, is that expensive?
No, it's not expensive at all. I'll show you the whole bag that I bought. I bought 3 bags like this for maybe, I think it was $20.
3 bags like that?
Yeah, very cheap. It's just sand, you know.
Magnetic, well, you don't
It's just
see it.
magnetic. So you mix it to the soil, and there's something else you can add to it. And I would say that's the most important, yes.
I wasn't watching how much of sand did you put there?
It doesn't really, like,
Sprinkle.
yeah, you sprinkle. As long as there's some type of magnetic field in it, it doesn't have to be overdoing it.
There's some sort of field.
Yes,
Create some general-
remember, it's all about subtle energies. There's no such thing as you have to eat a chicken to run 5 miles. No, it doesn't work this way. Subtle energies, actually, the less you work, the more energy you get. Because especially when you eat meat, the body doesn't recognize this type of food, and it has a hard time to digest it. Same thing with milk. That's the hardest thing to digest because of casein and human growth factor 1 hormones and all that stuff. The body doesn't recognize it, so it focuses a lot of time, a lot of energy in digesting, when all this energy could be focused elsewhere if you were not eating this type of food. So eat food that goes bad quickly, and that is plant-based living foods. That is the type of food that is recognized for us human beings. You see? So subtle energies, again. Now I'm going to add something to it, which is called azomite. Anybody heard of azomite?
Azomite?
Yes. Azomite is like, it looks like a sand too, or some type of flower. Now you can buy it online too. This is azomite. Azomite. Yeah. And this is powerful stuff.
This is for construction,
I wouldn't-
originally designed.
I don't know.
No?
Where does that come from?
This you can buy online. This is from volcanic ash, or volcanic rock that have been pulverized.
Oh, yeah.
That contain about 70 to 80 active minerals in it. active minerals. So when you add this to the water, to the soil, what you do is you nourish the soil with the minerals that the plant can absorb and convert it to a mineral that is recognized for us. Now, you're doing something really good for yourself when you do that. So, of course, you want to kind of,
Composting with good fruits and vegetables.
yeah. Now, I was doing a lecture a couple of weeks ago at Nutrition Smart in Pembroke Pines, and this lady goes like, oh, azomite, my neighbor keeps telling me I have to drink azomite. I'm like, wait a second. So I taught them, the audience, that I kind of briefly made a lecture about the difference between colloidal minerals and ionic minerals. Those are two different things. And I'm going to use the board and explain this to you. For now, if you want to add some water to this, the same amount of.
Colloidal meals or what?
Colloidal.
Colloidal or versus ionic?
Yeah. Thank you. So you see I have this azomite milk type of things. And that's what I'm going to add to
So
the,
what do you have in there, azomite
and water. Yeah. You can use, those, I forgot the name.
Sprinkler.
Yeah, you sprinkle gently on the
Water,
seeds.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So you add this to the soil.
And is that good for in the germination process, or would you water your plants with that?
It will go in your body
You-
eventually.
You want,
I know, but to start off, just for germination process, or would you recommend using that to water your plants?
just for the soil, not for the germination process.
Just for the soil, but you're germinating there right now. You do it by putting
Because, no, this is the soil.
right?
This is the germination. There
Well,
are two different
okay,
things.
but you're growing it from that's what I mean.
After, the germinated seed has a root, and the root is going to absorb those azomites from it.
Okay, so would you ever use that once you already have a plant, just to keep on, as maintenance while
To
it's
spray.
to grow?
I would just keep the azomite in the soil, and what's in it, it's in there already, so you don't have to worry about adding more to it.
Okay, so it's initial.
Yeah, exactly. You just mix the soil. If you want to get a large bucket, like those things for the garden, those big 20-gallon thing, and make your own soil in it. You can actually do the azomite. You can put this straight, as a sand, and magnetic sand to it. And then, of course, when you water, everything will be mixed up. So you can mix it and then do your trays. So I'm just showing you a way it can be made in different ways. As long as you put the azomite and the magnetic sand in the soil, the best way would be composted soil that you make your own. So colloidal.
So why do you use compost versus planting in soil, just regular?
More nutritious.
Because that's the only bag I had.
Does it
Actually, I
matter?
do a mix. I do 50-50. I do regular soil, organic, and compost.
Okay.
So I did a lot of trays, and I just ran out.
Okay.
That's the leftover of the little things that I was doing out of it, but I ate everything already. So I'm doing a new batch now at home, and I already use all my soil. It's just,
So, I make all my own soil, compost everything. And is it bad to only use compost? Soil,
No.
composted soil after it becomes soil?
no, it's actually better if you use compost,
It goes longer when you mix it with the sand.
yeah, whatever works, and you see the results after you grow your
I'm
food.
not getting great results. I mean,
Really?
I compost everything constantly for years.
Do
Okay.
you put banana skin
I
in
put
your
everything.
compost?
Except
It
everything
has
but
to
me.
be organic only. If you put regular banana skin, it's very bad for compost.
Really?
Yes.
I always use, I've
I
been,
think it's because they spray the banana, they spray the bananas.
Yeah.
they spray everything though.
No.
Yeah, but banana skin absorbs everything and keeps it in. And if you put it in your composting, it's very bad for the
Really?
soil. Yeah.
So I've got every banana I've been eating for years, I've been throwing it
After the reason.
in.
Okay,
It has to be organic.
Alright, let me show you
or
the,
don't put it all.
the difference between colloidal and ionic. Now, if anybody heard about Ernst, I forget, sorry, the name comes back. This is happiness, guys. It's bad memory and good health. So don't worry if you get blackouts. That's a good sign. All right. So this is a beautiful plant, sun powered and watered by restructured water falling from the sky, because when one drop of water comes, it actually spins around itself. The water has been found that it has an exclusion zone around it, also known as surface tension. That's when you jump flat on a pool, you hurt yourself, right? Because there's a surface tension between the water and the air called exclusion zone. That is called liquid crystal, also known as negatively charged ions. Okay. Now, when this water falls, it spins around itself in the air, which is positively charged. So you get negative and positive friction that charges the water, that becomes electric. Now, this water falls down, it charges the soil. You see? The earth is overall negatively charged. The atmosphere is overall positively charged. Everything that comes from the ground is negatively charged, as we are. We are overall negatively charged beings. So free radicals, as you heard, are actually positively charged. Same thing with all bad foods and poisons and chemicals and toxics and all these things is positively charged. Cancer, there's a lot to do with the spin as well, but I'm not going to go there yet. So when the water falls down, it goes to the ground, and it's important to have worms in that soil, because the worms create tunnels in the soil, right? They dig, and they lubricate behind them, create a liquid that hardens. So behind them, it creates a tunnel that is hardens, like a wall, like the tunnels under the channel between France and England. It's the same thing. So when the water falls down, it goes through those channels to irrigate deep down the soil with these negatively charged ions that the earth needs to replenish with electricity. The problem is nowadays they use all these on-site chemicals, pesticide, herbicide, suicide, that kills all the worms. Now there's no tunnels for the water to go down. What you get is floods. All this water is just on top of the soil. It doesn't go deep down anymore. So that's why, one, we lose the energy in the soil, and we lose all the minerals in the soil that is needed for the roots to absorb and convert to the minerals that is assimilated for us, you beings. You understand? So the soil contains colloidal minerals. Yeah, I write it down here. Colloidal minerals, that means atomic size. The size of an atom. Okay, that's in the soil. That's in the azomite. This is colloidal. You can't eat that. You can't drink that. This lady over there, Nutrition Smart Neighbors, I told her, tell her to stop drinking that stuff, because she actually poisoned herself with heavy metals. People buy colloidal supplements in tablets and pills or liquids. They poison themselves with heavy metals. That's not good. So what the plant does, it converts those colloidal minerals into ionic minerals.
What about colloidal silver, Terry?
That's another thing. Papa Smurf, by the way, passed away a couple weeks ago.
It was more just.
Yeah, he didn't live to 120 years. When the colloidal silver passed through the liver and it's oversaturated, it sent it back to the skin. That's why Papa Smurf became blue.
Yeah.
It has, of course, the property, you heard about the silver spoon, the blue blood. Silver is one element that is very healthy for us. And the only colloidal element that I would suggest for someone to use is silver, not any other.
Some people say colloidal gold.
Yeah, that's another thing. But I mean, gold is expensive nowadays.
Yeah.
Silver, it's easier to do, and it's easy to do too if you
And
want
how
to.
about milky ore?
I'm sorry,
Milky ore?
I don't understand.
Manure. Is that what you're saying?
Milky ore?
I don't understand.
Okay.
Is that mercurochrome, like iodine?
I'll ask you later, I'll translate.
Okay, let's stay focused here.
It's basically silver, but it's a special silver.
Okay.
Called milky ore.
I'm sure there's always better things. Let's just keep it simple. I'm recording, so we can actually diversify to many aspects of many different things, and we can talk for a long time. But I just want to make sure you understand this concept, which is vital, essential, and very basic. The plant absorbs the colloidal minerals from the soil and convert them to ionic minerals, which is angstrom size.
And how's it getting converted?
That's the same way our body does it, through ionization.
I use it, so through the soil, and the plant is converting it to the ionic state.
Exactly. Now, when the animal, or we are animals too, eat the plants, we actually eat ionic minerals, or angstrom size minerals. The difference between colloidal and atoms and ionic is 10,000 times the size. 10,000 times the size, that's huge. So to give you a very simple understanding, when you eat colloidal minerals, it's like you chew on sand. It cannot be dissolved. When you chew on ionic minerals, it's like eating salt. It dissolves in your mouth and it can be assimilated. You understand? This is huge understanding. So now you understand the importance of ionic minerals. This is the proper size for us, angstrom size minerals.
So you need the ionic, but you need colloidal to get the ionic.
Exactly.
So colloidal is the first stage and becomes the second stage,
Yes.
which is ionic.
For plants. Or there's another way you can get ionic minerals directly to your body. What is it? Yeah. It's called Idea Clarity. I don't know if you heard of this before.
No.
This is pure ionic minerals. You get all the minerals from planet Earth in this. 120 plus minerals and trace minerals. So this is coming from black mica or biotite. And what the manufacturer does, it uses high pressure chamber to convert the solid from the rock that is harvested from Mount Fuji in Japan to this liquid form of ionic sulfate minerals, or ionic minerals. So this is very powerful stuff. Use the other bottle because this one is
Okay.
So you can get that online if you go to my website at vitalityans.com. It's available for sale. It's $85 and it's a 6-month supply. The way it works is very simple. You put 1 teaspoon in 1 gallon, and that's it. So you have 96 teaspoons here, so 96 gallons. If you drink half a gallon a day, that's 6 months supply for an adult. So it comes up to that 85 cents a day. So that's the best investment you can do. What this does, it does 3 things. It deactivates all the contaminants in the water. It converts them positively charged to negatively charged. So you drink negatively charged water, think about it. It will convert the sodium fluoride, for example, which you know is very bad for you. It calcifies your pineal gland, to calcium fluoride, that the body can convert it into a liquid form and get rid of your body through your natural extraordinary channel. It'll become fluid. Because, again, we are negatively charged bodies. When you drink water that has fluoride in it, in sodium fluoride type, which is positively charged, it gets into your body and gets stuck like a magnet. And what this does, those ionic minerals or plant-based living foods, it will deactivate, actually change the polarity of these toxins to negative. So now they detach themselves from your cells and tissues, and the body can flush it out. And that's how you detox. That's the best way you can detox, because there's no other magic pills out there.
So it's not necessarily removing the fluoride, it allows your body to wash it out.
Exactly.
By releasing the positive to a negative charge.
Yes.
So it flushes it out without being bound to it.
Exactly, without any damage to your body, because it's all natural. This is nature, there's no chemicals in this. So that's one, it deactivates all the chemicals. You'll see, actually I forgot to bring a bottle, but if you put 1 teaspoon in a gallon of water, the next day you have all this deposit on the bottom that's like a brownish, yellowish, and that's actually all the contaminants that have been deactivated and became visible again. Because sometimes the water is yellow, but the manufacturer puts the chemicals in to make them invisible. So they suspend between the water molecules, you don't see them. So people drink clear water, they think it's all good, but it's actually not. It's invisible, active chemicals in it that is really bad for you. And when you put that into the water turns yellow, people are, oh yeah, I'm not going to drink that. It's actually better, because now the chemicals are deactivated, and they're actually beneficial for you.
Does that include pharmaceuticals and plastics?
Yes, absolutely it does.
BPAs, toxins.
Yeah, BPA, BTA, all that stuff.
Okay, so you're suggesting to dilute this in a gallon of water and drink it?
Yeah,
Or put it in your soil? Okay.
1 teaspoon in 1 gallon. What
Okay.
this is, it's ionic minerals. It's like if you drink half a gallon, or I would say, if you drink 1 teaspoon a day of this, it's like eating 50 pounds of sunflower greens and wheatgrass and, you know, food that you'll grow.
1 teaspoon?
Yeah, just 1 teaspoon.
Per gallon.
That will give you everything the body.
Straight 1 teaspoon, or you're drinking it in?
You mix it with
Oh,
water.
okay.
So you put 1 teaspoon, 1 gallon, or
Uh-huh.
there's something called super shot, which is 1 teaspoon in 1 ounce of water. So, because not everybody drink a gallon, but you wanna have your teaspoon, so to make sure you get your teaspoon, you put 1 teaspoon in a glass and add a little bit water, you get your super shot, and then you follow with a glass of water that is already has some of it. So once you do that, you're fine, because now you protect yourself from radiation. You heard about this radiation
Oh,
from
yeah.
Japan and all that
That'll
stuff?
help from radiation still?
Absolutely.
How does it help with radiation?
Well, your body is meant a way. I don't know how to scientifically explain to it, and it's something I'm still searching, but your body is radioactive already. It's all
Yeah.
about subtle energies. A light. Your body actually emits light as well.
That's the aura.
Yeah. Magnetic field, everything. I mean, I'm not into the science of that yet, but your body is an amazing, very sophisticated machine that can do amazing things, and we just take it for granted or we don't know about it. We think we have to drink and eat to get energy. Food is only 15 to 20% of our energy source. Our real energy source is hydrogen. Where you get hydrogen from the air that you breathe and from the water you drink. Because water is what? H2O, that's 2 hydrogen, 1 oxygen. Now there's good water and there's bad water. There's poor water, which is a weak hydrogen bond between the water molecules. Let me show you that. So water that comes out of tap water, for example, because tap water pipes have angles and 45 degrees. So when water goes through that, it doesn't recognize its environment because water is meant to be in circular motion, in vortex and fluidicis, you know, like mountain springs and rivers and wave crushing into the shore. You implement the golden ratio, which is found in nature
The
everywhere.
golden ratio?
Yes. Yeah, the golden ratio, Fibonacci sequence, all the sacred geometry that is found in nature. Because nature is talking to us and nobody is really listening to it. But if you look at a flower, you get a lot of codes in it, especially a sunflower. The sunflower actually is linked. If you go YouTube and search for Fibonacci sequence, and you'll see a beautiful animation made from Sandoval in Spain. Absolutely amazing. It's just breathtaking. There's no words, it's just an animation, it's beautiful. So what is meant to be in a circular motion? Implementing the golden ratio. And when it goes through that, it creates a moment of inertia. I mean, the best way would be spinning one side and spin the other side. Actually, there's a very smart guy out there, I'll call him the new Einstein. His name is Dan Winter. He invented something called the imploder. There's a shower imploder you can buy online from his website. It's called theimploder.com. That actually, you hook that, you take your shower head off and you put that imploder shower head instead. And it makes the water spin one side and spin the other side real quick. When the water does that, at the moment of inertia, when it goes one side and the other, it's the moment of restructure, that the water will restructure to increase the energy bond between the hydrogen bond. Because water is like this.
It's going from one way, then it goes to the other way. How does it capture that, what do you call that midterm?
The inertia.
Where does it capture the inertia to come out?
It's natural, it just happens.
So but when
It doesn't
comes out
capture
the
it.
other side, it's like in between.
Yes.
One side and the other side of the vortex,
Yes.
2 different vortexes.
Yes,
So in between the vortexes, that inertia,
yes.
but when it's coming out of the pipe, it's coming out the other way, but it doesn't matter? Because it's already treated already, or if treated as a.
I don't understand.
word?
I don't
Well,
know.
you're saying it's a one vortex go
Yeah,
one
it's
way, the other
spin one
vortex the
side
other
and
way.
spin the other
In
side.
the middle is the inertia, is where that
The moment
phenomenon's happening.
Yes, the water restructure.
But how is that capturing that part coming out of the shower? Only the inertia portion.
The water is restructured at the moment of inertia, and when it goes out the other side, even though it spins the other side, it is
It's already
restructured.
done already, okay.
It's already done. It's not because of just that moment, it's because of the compression of both resistance, of one spin one side and spin the other side, or the yin and the yang. Basically, we call it the bliss. What is bliss? What is love? It's a compression of energy without resistance. that creates a force, that creates creation, that creates imagination, that creates love and bliss and kindness. So when you're in that level, in that stage of being bliss, kind to others and loving and care and kind and compassionate, you actually are radiating. So there's two things in your body. There's a black hole when people are negative and they actually suck in, and there's the love, your heart, that has 3 layers and actually create a compression, the same imploder energy. The heart restructure the blood, they restructure the water because we are 75% water. And when you expand that, you actually connect with other type of energy sources that you can assimilate and convert into vital life force.
Greg Borden talked about that.
Who?
Greg Borden?
Yes, Greg Borden, Dan Winter. There's a lot of people out there that have the science knowledge. So I learn from them and I share in a simple way.
Dan Winter.
Dan Winter. Yeah, it's very deep the way he explained because it's all electrical. But he's an engineer in electrical field. But once you understand the concept, then it's good. So this is a water molecule. It's 2 hydrogen, 1 oxygen. When water comes out of tap water, the hydrogen angle between them is 104.5 degrees. That's the average. That's weak water. So how to empower the hydrogen is, 1, to restructure the water, so you can do it different way. The best way is to put it into a vortex. You can make your own vortex. If you go to my YouTube videos, you'll see a hydromagnetodynamic system that I created out of a vase with a computer fan that has a magnet and a stripe magnet inside. The computer fan spins the magnet, that the magnetic stripe inside the vase spin as well because it follows the fan magnet, and you put water in it, so it creates a vortex, it creates a spin in the water, and that's how you actually can restructure the water. And you'll see on the video too, I actually put magnets all around it, and alternate the magnets. I put positive, negative, and I put 6 of them. I create the hexagonal shape. You'll see if you look at the way they work with light nowadays, they use hexagonal shaped tubes to transfer the light, because when, like fiber optics, because they realize that the hexagonal shape actually makes the light 37% more brighter. And that's what you use in new technologies nowadays.
Are you saying hexagonal shape?
Yes,
Okay.
hexagonal. So 6-sided. So when you amplify, when you restructure the water, you get a water that is straightened to 120 degrees. So that's your 2 hydrogen and your oxygen. 120 degrees, that's the maximum angle you can get out of the water molecule. When you get that, the body assimilates it as a coherent information to work properly and do what it's supposed to do.
Are you saying the 104.5 is from being inside the pipes and stuff like
Yeah,
that?
pipes,
From the
stressed,
That's
by
the angle,
energies, by
right.
environment, even the thought of people that are not thinking properly, thinking negative, will actually destructure the water molecule.
People?
People
Well, how does
thoughts.
that, how are people destructing the water? After they drink it and pass it along, or?
Or their thoughts?
The thought is emit a magnetic field that actually can alter the water itself. Because the water is a conductor. Salt water is very conductive compared to pure water, 1 billion times. I mean, we can't go really deep, but
They can look it up online. There's a guy
Yeah.
named Emoto,
Yeah,
E-M-O-T-O.
I've seen all that with the shapes and the.
yes, with the snowflake
Yeah.
that was
Negative
frozen and sent different
Right.
type of energies. You see the
Pictures.
snowflake melting and the other one becoming crisper. Why? Because of the intention that's put in it.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Basically, it's frequency, 451 hertz frequency, which is I would say the bad one, will actually alter. Then you have the 528 hertz frequency, which is the love that will accelerate
negative-
and
Negative thoughts of everybody learning what's really going on in the world is affecting the water, making it even worse.
everything. Everything you see on TV nowadays makes no sense. I'm trying to watch a TV with my girlfriend. We can't watch something good. We try even comedy movies. It's all, they have blood and alcohol, and those kids watch this. These poor minds, those virgin minds that have been altered by all this violence and all that thing, and this has to stop. That's why I'm creating this vitality and community of people that are like-minded I'm gonna contact a lot of, leaders, visionary leaders in this world together, and together we can actually inspire to make a change in this world, especially in the movie and
Be
education
careful,
system.
what happened to John Lennon.
Well, so anyway, going back to this, 120 degrees. Anybody
Can I
heard?
say something?
Okay,
When you put water in a glass before you drink, kiss the glass.
yes.
Makes huge difference.
Indeed.
Water accept the love, and then you drink in better
I
water.
had mentioned at the dinner table about that, and my kid said, if you start talking to your water, out of here. They already think I'm nuts, but I hear what you're saying though.
That's not
Indeed. Indeed. So 120-degree bond. Have you heard of Nikola Tesla?
Yeah.
Okay, have you heard of him saying, if you understand the power of 369, you get the key of the universe?
No.
If you understand the power between 3, 6, and 9, you get the key of the universe.
3, 6, and 9.
Yes, that's from Nikola Tesla, who's way ahead of our time. It will take another 150 years from this world to still catch up with him. So one day I was walking on the beach, I took a stick and I started to draw on the sand, and I actually unlocked the potential of water. I'm going to share that with you. 120 degrees. This is hexagonal shaped water. Remember Dr. Emoto? Actually, I'm going to make it bigger because we're going to talk a lot about this. It's funny how we switch from growing food to science, mathematics, vortex, and all that stuff.
Connected.
But you understand the importance of growing your own food when you understand that. So, what is the purest form of expression? Mathematics. That's what Plato said. Mathematics is the purest form of thought. What is the pure form that we can see in visible world today? It's a snowflake, which is a water in hexagonal shape. Check this out. This is my oxygen, and this is my hydrogen. Right? You follow me?
No.
Okay.
The red is oxygen?
Remember, H2O, 120 degrees bond, which is the largest, most stable, most potential hydrogen release potential that you can get. Because remember, the true source of energy for us is not oxygen. Oxygen is just a carrier, but it's hydrogen. When the Big Bang happened, the first thing that happened was gravity. The second one was hydrogen. Second one, lithium and all that stuff. But hydrogen is also 3/4 of the mass of the sun. If there's no light in this planet, there'll be no life, right? So we depend on the sun, our savior. When the plant absorbs this sun power, convert it into carbohydrates for us to utilize and convert it into our life force. That's hydrogen again. Water is hydrogen. That's 2 hydrogen, 1 oxygen. So oxygen is just a carrier. But the way you release the power of the hydrogen is to increase the bond of 120 degrees. So you get 120 here, 120 there, 120 there. Basically, this is a water molecule. You see it? So it creates like a puzzle. They click together. 120 here, 120 there, another one here. Click together. Click, click, click. It creates the hexagonal shape water. That's the best form of water we can drink. And that's the type of water that comes out of mountain springs. A snowflake, that's what it is. Then it has different shapes, but it has to do with magnetic field and all that stuff. So I'm going to show you the power of 369. You have an angle here, 120 degrees, right? 1 plus 2 plus 0 is what? It's 3. When you take 2 angles, that's what? It's 240. 2 and 4 is what? 6. And we take 3 angles, the whole circumference, that's 360 degrees. 3 and 6 is what? It's 9. Okay, you got 369 right here. Now you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 oxygen. In the inside here, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's 3. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 18, that's 9. 369 again. Now I don't know if you heard of vortex mathematics. Okay. come back to this, vortex mathematics. There's a gentleman called